My name is Sadiq Mahmoud Mustafa. I serve as the National Coordinator of the Youth Against Violent Extremism Initiative. So I think the National Summit on the PCVE gives us the opportunity as youth to speak about the dimension of violent extremism, particularly about how it affects youth in particular. One of the things that came up strongly during the discussion was the particular role of youth in preventing and countering violent extremism. And when we are talking about the narrative and the dynamics of violent extremism, especially within the context of Nigeria, one of the arguments that keep coming up is youth are seen as the perpetrators, are seen as the victims, but when we are talking about actors that can contribute meaningfully to addressing the menace of violent extremism, we are largely dissociated from that. However, this summit gives us an opportunity to speak about our roles and how we can contribute to addressing violent extremism, network with stakeholders that are already working within the space, and come up with actionable recommendations that we can further incorporate the perspective of youth and also gender and social inclusion into this regard. I think one of the biggest conversations that we had yesterday was on 2 to 3 aspects. Building community resilience come up strongly, as well as what a particular role do women and youth have in this particular discussion. And the discussion about the revised policy framework and national action plan on PCVE comes up strongly, where the discussion comes up on the issue of the 2 components, particularly of monitoring, research and evaluation, as well as ensuring gender sensitivity in all PCVE programming. And the deliberations were trying to create a form of awareness on the particular roles stakeholders have within the implementation framework of that particular policy, and how we can ensure that all actors within the PCV space are being carried along effectively, and they can contribute meaningfully as it relates to their particular context, and also come up with interventions that are locally driven and locally specific. So like always, what we are saying is at every point in the PCV intervention, youth have a role to play. And one of the things we keep emphasizing is being given the opportunity to contribute meaningfully. Particularly as it relates to this new PFNAP that was developed, youth have a role to play, especially when it comes to local level implementation, peer-to-peer mentorship, as well as creating awareness sensitization in their particular community. And more importantly, we are trying to see how we can incorporate youth perspective when it comes to building digital resilience and also counter and alternative narratives to counter online radicalization through social media and other digital platforms in general. I think this whole movement, I will say, is transformational in the sense that for the first time in a while, different stakeholders are being brought on. And this type of stakeholders gathering bring about different perspectives where we are starting to look beyond PCV interventions into looking at specific intersectionalities that further contribute to radicalizing individuals at the community level. And one of the things that come up strongly is on the issue between the intersection of climate and radicalization to violent extremism, and also on the intersection of socio-economic factors and also digital platforms in further amplifying violent extremism radicalization online. So I think it is transformational, and having all these diverse perspectives will give us a diverse idea on how further we can move to ensure a violence-free Nigeria is being achieved within the context of PCV.